So, both Tatooine missions are finished now, I guess.
Yeah, moving on to a planet that I'm not really familiar with, Bakura.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Bakura or Benjil, or whatever that was. Okay, I
That's
kind of remember this one.
that's actually pretty cool. I've kind of cool to see a base built in a dormant volcano.
Yeah.
Kyle is currently away from the academy, but he will meet you on Bakura. Then the two of you can investigate the station. Be sure to wait for him before you do anything.
All right.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Force Heal again just because I found that to be extremely useful in my missions, especially on the difficulty that I'm playing. Got to go with the old classics too. I can just speed through these screens right now. I'm going to go with the same.
Yeah, I definitely remember this mission. This is a fun one. It's the bomb defusal mission.
I'm actually excited. I kind of remember it pretty vaguely. I don't really remember doing it on my last playthrough, but I one, I'm excited to see what this looks like, all modded up and like with high textures and stuff. I can kind of see the sky right there. That's pretty. That might be like a peek into what we get to see. But I don't really remember too much about what this place looked like, and I'm excited to replay it. So we'll see what happens. And of course, Kyle is going to be nowhere in sight.
Where are you, Kyle? I've been waiting here forever. Well, I can't wait around. I've got to do something.
Alrighty.
Wow.
So they finally give you an X-wing to take to places if you're going by yourself. That's pretty cool.
My God, yeah. Like, I was actually wondering, is this ship mine?
I mean, I assume it is, yeah. And they make you report back to it when it's time to leave at the end of the mission. So I think, yeah, it's yours. They just lent it out to you.
So this is a base built in a dormant volcano. Looks like there was some kind of scuffle or something.
Yeah, like a burnt corpse.
We got some. That must be the base, but we got some blaster marks on the floor.
Obvious signs that this place has been invaded recently. I guess these were all the resident workers, and they were just slaughtered.
Just doing their jobs, right?
Yeah, look for like health packs or whatever. Not that you really need anything this early, but just look around.
It's definitely good to have that stuff on the lookout. Trying to ascertain what happened. I guess I could just essentially follow this path of destruction that leads inside. It's always good to clear corners, though. You never know when you might find like a secret area.
Yeah, exactly. This game does have secret areas, so
Yeah,
that's a good point.
They are actually like nooks and crannies. Explore every single one of them. That's all I've learned from this game. All right.
Time to head inside.
Yeah, gotta be wary. You never know. You never know with those Roman patrols. There's that health pack you're talking about. Don't seem to need it right now. Ooh, I remember this.
I don't even know how that's a secret area. It's just like a corner of the wall that's now accessible.
The charges are set, sir.
Good. The Republic is getting complacent. They underestimate us. This will remind them what happens to traitors. Right. Move out.
So I guess that's what the bombs look like, and there's one of them in each of these camera shots.
Yeah, and I guess not only that, but they're all armed now, and the base is probably flooded with these cronies, or the clone troopers, rather.
Yep, it's basically a find the bombs mission.
Okay, so
And this is probably your best hint of where they're going to be. So take note.
man, there are a lot of bombs.
There's like 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't
We're gonna
counting.
blow the whole installation. I have to stop that countdown.
Well, he said it best. I got to stop that countdown.
Yeah, they're going to come spilling in soon. There we are.
It's just a couple of clone troops. I can take care of these guys. No problem.
Stormtroopers. You're finally fighting stormtroopers.
Oh, I keep calling them clone troopers. That's
No,
my
either
bad.
way, I'm just
Sorry.
glad to see you're finally fighting stormtroopers. I think we've been fighting like either
Sand people or Jawas.
yeah, sand people or like just random thugs this entire game up until now. Most of this game you are fighting stormtroopers, and they just took this long to show up, I guess, because of the order we've been playing the missions.
I do know there's a mission in the future where I get to fight a whole bunch of them, and I am excited. I'm not going to say what mission it is, but I am so excited to get to it.
Were you you're just doing the missions like right down the list, right?
Absolutely, I'm going to do every single mission.
No, I mean like like the order that you're doing. I mean it's just like
Yeah.
down the list from the top down.
I mean, I think
what I
I
thought.
think I'm just going to generally stick with that because it seems to be like, why not? Most of the order from top to bottom has like 2 missions that have to do with each other on the same planet, so I figure why not get them out of the way? I'm
So yeah,
familiar with that planet,
like
so.
counting the prologue, you got no, you do fight 2 stormtroopers in the prologue, but you got 2 missions in without encountering a single stormtrooper. That's funny. So anyway, 1 bomb down, and 5 or 4 to go. I'm not sure how many
I'm
to
not
go.
sure how many, but don't worry, I'll get them all.
I'll count them as you're doing them. That's how we'll know.
Man, there's so many passages I could go, like there's always... there's like-
Yeah, this
no,
one.
it's not
This is a
breakable.
pretty
What
pretty
is-
open-ended map. Oh yeah,
what is that?
It's like Imperial Spec Ops. They can turn invisible. They're not that tough, but they're annoying because you don't see them, until they're right in front of you.
Jesus.
That was cool, man. You see that? It bounced off the door and came back and hit him in the shoulder, and he slid towards you.
Bowcaster, man, it is an amazing weapon.
That was cool.
Never ceases to surprise. But I can't help but use my
these guys
lightsaber right now. This guy's got a
cool.
shoulder pad.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
High-ranking.
a commander or something. I actually think that you see a guy in it might be Star Wars Episode 4, who's dressed like that on Tatooine, and I always assumed that was like what the sand stormtroopers wore. It was just like some sand gear that they wore, but no, I guess it maybe denotes rank, like you said. Yeah, this is seriously
Why were
not
they
a hall
why were they guarding this?
good idea using force speed there.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
That's all right. I said what I wanted to say.
Man, these guys are everywhere, and their cloaking is like almost flawless. Like I can't see through until I'm right up on them. I can see that little purple line of them. The little reflection maybe.
Yeah.
Another treacherous hallway. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the thing. Enemies in video games that are supposed to be invisible, you notice they're never truly invisible. They're always like a little bit of a glimmer in the air, and you can always see them.
Yeah.
Even like Crisis or something like that, you can always look for that glimmer.
That would probably be a good time to save.
Yeah, see if you can shoot that. It's gonna be tough around the corner. Yeah, you're hitting the corner. There you go.
I got it.
Probably crouch under that. Nice.
Nice. The first person in this game, I have to say again, looks really good. I don't
Well, yeah,
usually
these
play with it often.
These games are essentially they originated as like first-person shooters. I mean, the Dark Forces game and I guess Jedi Outcast were very, very, very gun-centric. Dark Forces was basically a first-person shooter. So I mean, yeah, it's got good roots as far as the gunplay and the first-person aspect goes. So it's not just like a slapped-on element like in some other games. I can't really think of anything, but this is a legitimately good first-person experience if you choose to play that way.
True. And if you even if you don't, I mean, I guess my lightsaber can't cut this.
I mean, the other thing is there's so many guns, which is a funny thing because it's essentially a lightsaber-centric game.
Yeah,
It's
it's
such
like,
a wide selection
Why
of
would
guns.
they even let you choose a loadout? True.
Right, and
Because
I
you're
assume
a
it's
Jedi.
it's basically just leftover assets from the previous games that they were like, well, we're not going to cut these, we'll just re-include them, so they put them back in.
I don't mind it. I don't mind playing with it once in a while because, as we saw in that Tatooine mission with the droid recovery,
Yeah, with the Tuscans,
it was
up on the
pretty.
cliffs.
It was pretty fun when they knocked me down and my camera went all wonky. It was kind of cool.
All right,
Right,
so
so it's
that's
another
number
bomb.
2, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Uh,
Was it lift go? Does that just go down to the bottom? Is there
yeah.
nothing down there?
This is just in case you fall, so I'm not really going to
Yeah,
go down there. I've
yeah.
actually explored this before, so I'm not going to Oh,
Man, this place is actually really, really big. Like, you cover it pretty fast because you run fast, but this place is huge.
I mean, you got to take
And it's all built inside
into
a
account.
dormant volcano.
Yeah, it is built
That's
inside
cool.
of a giant dormant volcano. That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, no, you just try to shoot that guy, he returns
Yeah,
with
nope.
way,
Nope.
way more firepower.
I didn't think a repeater would be that effective from that far. See if my lightsaber is.
Nice move. That was cool.
I'm learning to use this a little bit better. I always end up cutting their arm off, too. I don't mean to.
Jump. Ooh. Yeah, whatever, you're fine. You gotta watch out, they're pretty low on health.
Ah, that would be a good time to heal.
Yes, Force Heal. And your Force Heal is actually level 2 now, so I think you can probably use it while you're running. And it's also just a lot more efficient. So that's one of those ones that you definitely want to max out as soon as possible. I like what you're doing with your Force powers, honestly. I think that the way that you're specializing in Force Heal and Force Lightning is good. You got one specialization on the light side of the Force and one specialization on the dark side of the Force. And they're both really useful. I mean, Lightning, I know, has not been that useful thus far, but once you get that to level 3, you'll be able to take out like crowds of stormtroopers in one hit.
Yeah, I can't wait to electrify whole crowds of people.
That's one of those moves, and much like in Kodar, it's very similar in Kodar, that Lightning is one of those powers that you need to get it to its maximum level before you can really see its full potential. I mean, it really, really becomes useful once you max it out. And, it basically becomes like an area of effect crowd control weapon.
Well, I definitely, probably, I'm happy I chose heal, but, oh,
Yeah, there he is.
okay.
Another commander, I think.
See, I'm happy I chose heal just because it's useful when there's no health packs laying around, and as we see, there's health packs everywhere here, so it's not really a big issue, but it's...
Yeah, but not on every map. Sometimes it's hard to get the health back, so it's definitely a useful thing. That was nice.
There we go.
I like that finisher move.
Yeah, pretty peaceful. Alright, some shields right here. That's pretty... It's a nice little find right there. Like I'm saying, that this stuff is just laying all over the map, and I don't really have to worry so much. But heal just comes in handy when you find yourself a little high and dry.
So I was thinking, do you think they made this planet up for this game, or because I
don't
have never heard of this
I've
planet
never
before.
heard of it before. Truthfully, let's take into account that what era is this? This is
like
post,
apparently after Episode 6. This is like the rebuilding of the Jedi Order.
So
under
there is gonna definitely be some
That's what I mean.
bases with these guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the dormant bases that are lying in these volcanoes and scattered probably on Hoth and other places that still have troopers that are operating under.
Yeah, essentially
command
these guys
of,
are like the
Imperials
Imperial.
there.
Yeah, they're the Imperial remnant, and
and their presence will be
they're anywhere that the
slowly
Imperial.
diminished.
Yeah, because the Imperials, they put people everywhere. I mean, even if you look at like our military, the U.S. military, we have troops stationed in dozens and dozens and dozens of different countries, even countries that we're not really doing anything in right now. So if something happened, and we couldn't retrieve them, we would have people stuck all over the world essentially. Not that that's ever going to happen, but that's essentially what happened in this. Yeah, glad you dodged that. That's essentially what happened here. Is that this is after Episode 6, so the Imperial, the Empire has been completely disabled at this point, and all of its leadership figures are dead, and so you have these little scattered pockets of Imperial remnant all over the galaxy, and they're kind of bubbling up and becoming a problem for the new rebuilding Jedi Order.
And they're basically just being led by anyone who flashes a red lightsaber and yells
Essentially.
this or that.
Yeah.
They're basically being led by a ragtag team of nobodies.
I mean, that seems to be the way it is. It really is kind of like ripe for the picking that there's just these Imperial remnants everywhere, and you can kind of go take advantage of them and exploit them to use them as your own private army, essentially, if you want to.
I mean, what would they bow their knee to?
I have no
Lightsaber
idea.
or money or credits?
I mean, I have no idea. In this case, I'm not even sure if they're actually sided with Tavion. I seem to remember them assisting her at some point, but I'm not really sure if they're actually sided with her, and if they are, I'm not sure why. It could be just like you said, because she's a Sith, and they might just follow anybody with a red lightsaber. Yeah, like it's kind of cool that they just if this planet's been in anything else, I don't know of it, but this is the only thing I've ever seen this planet in. I was thinking
I've
like
never heard of it either.
as far as this game goes, like what would be some cool planets that you would want to see levels take place on if you could like have your dream level from this game take place on any planet in the Star Wars universe? Because I had a couple of ideas for that. I thought it would be pretty cool.
To be honest, and I have to be brutally honest here, I've played through Kodar, and I have played through this game one time.
Just 2 more left.
As far as my knowledge of
That was
Star
cool.
Wars planets go,
You just threw your lightsaber past him, jumped over his head, and then flipped and caught it on the other side.
as far as my knowledge of planets go, I don't have much, but there were planets done in other games that I know of that I haven't heard of or seen in anything else.
Like Kodar.
Like Kodar, for example. Manan. Honestly, a lot of people mock Manan, but take into account that Manan is one of the only cities where there is like true order and there's just this neutral balance. I know it's like being in Switzerland, but if Manan was really high quality and really well done and the underwater parts were like redone, I would love to be able to go to see like the remnants of Manan or whatever's left of Manan or whatever Manan became, because I don't know.
Or other,
I don't
yeah.
know. I haven't played Kodar 2. I don't know if that planet
No,
comes back
I don't
or
think
anything.
I've certainly never read or played anything where we revisit Manon. But,
There's a lot of interesting stuff that you can do and that can happen on Manan. There's the swoop races, which are like really cool. I love the swoop race track on Manan. It's just a water field.
That is cool.
That with like
And I
rocks
think
coming out of
I
it.
think the idea is cool. I think the idea of a neutral planet in the middle of the Jedi Sith War is an interesting concept. I just think a lot of people thought it was boring in execution.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I thought there was a lot of really cool story content to do there.
But I know another one. Knowing what I know from Kodar and knowing what I know about the planet Kashyyyk now, I would love to see that planet done in high quality.
That would be really
why
cool.
not?
I don't think
Why
that
not?
is in this game, but that would be a great one. I agree with you there. There's so much verticality that you could explore with Kashyyyk.
Speaking
There's such a sense of
verticality.
scale. The trees are massive.
Like
There's the
why not
Shadowlands.
for this game?
canopy.
That would have been perfect for this game.
Yeah.
To see some kind of iteration of Kashyyyk in the Shadowlands.
That would have been really, really cool.
But speaking of verticality, this game, I'm gonna denote it has.
Oh, it doesn't lack verticality. Yeah, it certainly has
Like
verticality.
the force jump, it evolves as the missions progress more and more. Like I can jump higher and higher. I'm not sure every. Oh god, there's a lot of these guys. So yeah, I mean, what planets would you want to see?
I really want to see. I don't know if we see Coruscant in this. We might, but Coruscant would be cool. I know that we're both fans of 1313, even though it didn't come out. So the under rings of Coruscant specifically would be really, really cool. I think you could get a lot of verticality in there, especially with some of the concept art they had for 1313. It was like a city sandwiched on top of another city, like upside down. So you could do so much verticality with that. I mean, even just with Coruscant, you could do like a jumping from speeder to speeder mission, like they did in Episode 2, at the beginning when they're chasing Zam Wesell. That would be pretty cool. I want to see Raxus Prime. That's one of my favorite planets in Star Wars. It's basically just a big junkyard planet. It's been in, I think, 1 or 2 of the other Star Wars games, but that would be an absolutely sweet planet. It's one of my probably top 3 favorite planets in Star Wars.
Expand on Raxus Prime, though. I mean, that planet, I believe, it's in the Force Unleashed or the Force Unleashed 2. I'm not sure which
Actually,
one it's
yeah,
in.
you're right. I forgot about that. It's in the Force Unleashed 1, and it's also in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the 2002 game.
And I'm pretty sure in both games it's portrayed pretty well, enough for us to get a sense of its atmosphere, but I'd love to see some like that, just more expansive.
Yeah, it's just a big scrapyard planet.
Yeah, like a big open playground of scrap,
It's actually, I forgot that it was in the Force Unleashed. You actually spend quite a bit of time there. It's pretty cool in Force Unleashed.
Okay, so there's no way I can make that jump.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're supposed to go over there. Felucia would be cool, just because it's such a visually diverse and interesting looking world, and we don't see that much of it. I know it's in Battlefront. I think it's in Battlefront 2, and it's in Star Wars Episode 3 for like, a couple seconds, but those look cool.
Felucia is a planet that I know by name, but not really by landscape. Screw that turret. Hate those things.
Yeah, it's in Episode 3 for a couple seconds. It's like the place with all the big fluorescent mushrooms and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I would love to see that planet in a video game, just at all. That would be
cool.
So cool.
And when you go there in, I think it's Battlefront 2 that planet is in, there's like Acklays, which are those big spider things from the arena in Episode 2, and they apparently live there. I don't know if that's, confirmed that they actually are from that planet, or if they just threw them in the game to make it more interesting, but they fit in pretty well. I mean, it was scary as hell when they would come out of the bushes and attack.
Facing one of those things, especially wild one of those things.
Here we go, another bomb. Oh, there's the security key.
I actually defused this bomb.
Yeah, that's right.
before.
You already hit that bomb. That's why it triggers up. So you got the security key. Now you can go get that door. Okay, I remember.
It was weird. It was weird. I had walked all around this map, and I kept going to that door, and I thought I got the key already, and then I went back to him, and he's the only body that was still there.
That's actually good, because they all despawn except for him, because it's like, hey, come over here and loot this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you get shot at from above.
Yeah, it seems there's some guy up there I got to deal with. Here's a lift. I got to take care of him.
Nice. Cut his arm off.
There we go.
That's cool. Yeah. Hit both of them.
Nice. So this is mission 3.
I think there's maybe 2 more bombs for you to get.
2 more bombs in this
volcano.
Maybe not in this vicinity, but there's probably one more.
In the facility.
I've never been in this room. Ooh, that's a big drop.
That's just, I think it's just the bottom part of this room.
There's a couple of lifts, it seems. Oh, there's a guy over there, too. I'm going to deal with these guys first. Don't want to get sniped.
Nice.
I always do flips.
There's a bomb right there.
Nice. I'm sure there's going to be somebody coming down, but there is a turret right there.
There you go.
That was a perfect grenade.
That was pretty good. Took out the turret. Take that guy out who just came through the door.
Oh, there he is. Come on, come back here.
I was thinking, when you go to Raxus Prime in the Clone Wars, the 2002 game, there's most of it is, the entire game, for the most part, is a vehicle game. And when you're on Raxus Prime, there's a big section in the beginning where you're riding speeder bikes through the junkyard. They're really, really fast. You're chasing these scout droids because they're heading back to their encampment. You're trying to cut them off before they get there, and they can warn everybody else. And, I believe there's speeder bike segments in this game at some point. So, that would fit perfect. You just, do that on Raxus Prime, and there you go. You already got, part of a mission.
It would be kind of cool. I'm sure... Now, I'm not saying, I would go out of my way to look for this, but I'm sure that there might be some kind of mod for
I'm sure,
section.
I'm sure people have made. I'm sure people have made a Raxus Prime multiplayer map. There's so many multiplayer mods for this game that I kind of just assume that basically any place in Star Wars has been turned into a multiplayer map for this game.
Yeah, it would be really exciting to see or be able to play and control a speeder bike going through Raxus Prime. That would be awesome, dodging the towers of junk and scrap metal.
I'll play 2002 Clone Wars, you can.
Imagine what lives there.
I have no idea, actually.
It doesn't, I don't know if it's Raxus Prime, but doesn't Darth Maul reside on the junk planet?
Oh, after in the expanded universe or whatever, when he falls through the, I'm not actually sure what planet that's supposed to be on. I'm not sure if that's a different planet or if it's at the bottom of the pit on Naboo. I'm actually not sure where that was supposed to be. I don't know if they ever specify that it's I haven't watched the Clone Wars or anything, so I don't know if if they specify in the Clone Wars what planet that took place on. But that might have been Raxus Prime. It certainly looked like Raxus Prime.
You know how it was all dust stormy and there were just big metal towers, and how he ended up falling into a pit of just scrap metal, and it kind of, even if it wasn't Raxus Prime, that's kind of what it's what I envisioned for Raxus Prime. I only have the one exposure from the Force Unleashed games.
Well, you were asking about what lives there, and I was going to say that it's portrayed as this place for
That was a good
abandoned droids to be kind of discarded to, and they kind of just go there, and I guess their memory chip gets completely overwhelmed with data and isn't wiped, or their droids aren't maintenanced forever because they live there by themselves, and I guess they kind of go insane and they just kind of do their own thing. So I don't know about creatures, but you can certainly expect to find a lot of like rogue rampant droids
Like this little
all
bastard.
over. Well, yeah, even bigger than that though. I mean, on Force Unleashed, that's the main enemy type that you fight there, is like droids that are coming out of the debris piles and attacking you.
You know, that's kind of sad though when you think about it. I mean, I'm sure some of them were like programmed military droids or like soldier droids, infantry droids for large armies during the Clone Wars.
You find like there's probably like there's so much salvage that you could get on that planet. You find like entire crashed ships there, and I mean, you just imagining the amount of war assets that are probably laying there untouched. Nice.
Back to this hallway again.
Take these guys out.
It does take quite a bit to use shock, or rather force lightning.
Yeah, like I
Why
said,
call it shock.
that'll get a lot more powerful once you get it to level 3, and I think are you at level 2?
I'm at level 1 right now,
Okay.
actually.
Okay, well, yeah. You'll definitely notice an increase both times, but on level 3 it'll become like a mass murder weapon. Yep, heal up before we head on.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get this guy. Gotta remember that throwing the lightsaber isn't always useless because you can get it on the backswing too. You can get it when it comes back to you. Make it go through them, do some damage.
Yeah, I find that like if you move when you're swinging your lightsaber, it gives him like a much bigger range of attack,
Yeah.
rather than just like a standard downward sweep if you're just standing still. So I try to remember to do that when you play.
Yeah, your attack is basically a line of damage rather than... And you can kind of keep yourself far enough away from your lightsaber that it doesn't come back to you right away. You can keep that line of damage.
Yeah, you got a
and
whole bunch of
switch
guys
it.
in there. Careful.
Holy crap, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, no.
You know what?
can use the force. You can
Balls
go
to the
push.
wall.
Nice.
1,
Got back in. He was
2,
the toughest guy. He had the repeater. So you're good now.
3.
Nice. Clean them up pretty quick.
Nice.
Alright, I think clear to go to your ship. Oh, no.
Oh my
Guys
God.
out here too.
Jeez.
That's cool. You don't need to have your lightsaber drawn to use the force.
You know, I got pushed in one of the battles and I figured why not let me use it. Oh my god. They're taking my health down.
Come on, one more guy. Nice. I think you're clear. I don't want to talk too soon. Make sure, clear these corners so nobody comes out and shoots you in the back. You're at low health.
I definitely got to heal. I'm not dying here. I just have to get to my ship, which is only right over there, but you're right. People could pop out at any point.
So the facility's been saved. You've disabled all the bombs. The volcano will remain dormant, and the nearby town will remain safe.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I guess that's the wrap-up of this mission. Well,
I think my only regret is not acting sooner. I mean, I was standing right there for a while. I'm wondering if I saw those guys get murdered, or I was just sitting there while they were already dead.
I'm sure that your character showed up after that happened.
Sorry I never made it to Bakura. You seem to handle yourself okay, though.
This is getting more serious. We have been receiving numerous reports of a Sith cult called the Disciples of Ragnos appearing all over the galaxy.